What's going on, everybody? Clicking on all the wrong stuff to start, bouncing around through different screens. What's up? Tuesday slate, 14 gamer, August 14th. I'm pumped. 2 straight big days for me. I'm ready to go. And this is the show where people pick dongs. The Awesemo.com bunch going 3 for 3 on dong picks last night. Spags sneaking in under the wire, but I wasn't even done. I was getting ready to talk a bunch of smack for my homer, and I wasn't even done typing the tweet when Jake got his. So, Jake, how'd you end up? Are you happy with your Freddie Freeman call?
I'm happy with the call, not the results, which is weird because I had a bunch of Cleveland, I had a bunch of Atlanta, and I don't know who else I had, like Dodgers too. They all had like a decent amount of runs, but nothing was put together on any of my lineups, so it was not a profitable night. So it was weird. I thought it was going to be, and it did not end up that way. But I saw you up there in the mini max, so you need to have some of that solid play rub off on me, I guess.
Yeah, the best part of those 2 dongs were that's what put me at put one of those entries near the top of the mini max. They both hit, and all of a sudden I opened up DraftKings and I was sitting in third, and I was like, ooh, perfect time for those home runs. Now I'm not even mad that Jake got one. I didn't want it for you until it happened.
Wow. All right, fine. I see how it is.
Well, it's more fun when it's only me, and at that point I was first for about 30 seconds. So, there's a lot of salvation in being the only home run call. As soon as you got it, then I was happy for you because it helped me. Big game, big slate today. I don't know what I'm saying. But we've got a ton to talk about, and honestly, I'm a little bit different than the public today, and that's usually weird. I don't usually sway that much on certain guys, so we're going to have some fun stuff to talk about today. I like these big slates every once in a while.
Yes, I mean, I like them a lot because more people will make more mistakes, so just play the best plays, hopefully, and be profitable.
I like days like yesterday. Somewhere in that 9, 10, 11 range is like the perfect balance of like looking at it. If 14 things start to blend together, I'm happy when they're not 14 gamers on days that I have the live stream.
Right. Yeah, that's fair. I get the live stream today with the huge slate every Tuesday.
Yeah. That's how I feel about Fridays, though. It's just like that's the day that I don't want to pay attention. It's the day that there's always the most ridiculous stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's dive in. First game up, Mets and Orioles. Mets, 4.6 run implied total. Orioles, 4.6 run implied total. 50-50 game. I feel like this trash pitches against each other all the time, but they clearly don't, Mets and Orioles. Jason Vargas going for New York. Andrew Kashner going for Baltimore. Surprise, surprise, I've got a bunch of Vargas, but we're not projecting ownership to him today, which is a little weird to me. I'll be going back to the well. I won't be going 28 times the field like I am now. So I do like another guy that's relatively low price, but I'm going to have some Vargas here. It's the Orioles. I don't think they're very good. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to ignore Vargas. You see these other guys that are owned that are priced similarly to him. Like the Orioles are one of the best matchups. They've been a lot better lately against lefties, but Vargas can still miss bats. He's coming off this weird start where he went a third of an inning and then gave up 3 runs. So it probably wasn't going to go well anyways, but then the game got delayed, so he didn't even have a chance to get back into the positive.
It can't get any worse than his last start.
Yeah, I mean, so it was just like the worst combination of things to happen. So people may be sour on him, and that's why we're seeing the ownership pretty low. I would assume he gets some steam as the day goes on, just because it's hard to pass up the matchup against the Orioles.
Yeah, I'd figure he ends up in like the 8%-ish range.
Yeah. So it's just a price play for me. I don't believe he is a great pitcher. I mean, he can get swinging strikes from time to time, but who knows what's going to be in this start. But for 5,200 at somewhat low ownership, I'm willing to at least find out.
He's averaging 3.94 innings per start this season.
Yeah, he's had a couple. He had his first like 2 or 3 were awful.
He's never gone past the 5th.
You don't really want him to.
No, so I'm gonna pull back on his innings projection. I had him in for 5, I believe, but that seems like it's a little high. I'll still get him, but that'll help mute that ownership a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was as bad as it was for like never being out on the field.
Oh yeah, he just does not go deep. They don't want him to.
Not at all. I mean, he's not very good, so I get it.
Mm.
Alrighty, bats here. People are more on the Orioles as a stack against Vargas than they are on Vargas. 7% aggregate on FanDuel, 8% on DK. I have like a third of that. I don't really have much interest. And I'm right with the field on the Mets. Nothing standing out as like an incredible play here. They're basically just a mid-tier stack for me. Are you liking anything big time from a back perspective?
Yeah, I like the Mets. Ahmed Rosario, pretty good stolen base matchup. And then Conforto and Jeff McNeil and Todd Frazier a little bit. So I would go to the Mets bats if I was going to this game. But for such a high total, it's not like there's not that much to like, I don't think. It's just very specific bats for the Mets. And I just don't want to stack the Orioles on a 14-game slate. Like when you've got the Yankees and the Red Sox and like Cleveland, Atlanta, good teams, and then you want to stack the Orioles. I get it; they're somewhat cheap, but not cheap enough where I'm just gonna jam them in.
Yeah, like I'm right with the field on the Mets. I think that's fine. They're good to have because Cashner's bad, but it's not anything that I want to go wild on. And then I'm not super interested in the Orioles because I don't trust them. If they hit like 4 dongs, it wouldn't shock me. But I mean, they're very boom and bust.
Not in this park, at least, and especially against Vargas.
Yeah.
Because who knows?
Congrats to Zach Jameson. Congrats to Brian Widger. Hey, you might have maxed the 10 cent and made 50 cents, but a win's a win. And Mike Rader, when creating lineups, do you remove all players you don't want or just change the min-max and cruncher so you don't get that player? I don't remove anybody ever.
Yeah, I do. But sometimes I don't. I mean, just depends. Depends how big the slate is. Like, I don't want like the 9-hitter for whoever against, or I don't want like the 8-hitter against Verlander on this slate. I don't want the possibility of him sneaking in anywhere, so I just delete him.
I get it. I just don't want to do extra work. It's mostly it's the inner laziness in me.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into this one yet, so I'm relying on you. Rays and Yankees. Rays 3.3 run implied total. Yankees 5.2. 71% chance to win for the Yanks. Hunter Wood is starting for the Rays. J.A. Happ going for the Yankees. We don't care who's coming in, right?
Well, I mean, if it's Beeks, then I want every single part of the Yankees.
What I mean is, we don't care who the Rays starter is because we're not playing the Rays starter no matter who it is.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Is it expected to be Beeks?
I thought it was supposed to be Beeks. Fangraphs had Beeks as the starting pitcher yesterday, so I would assume Beeks will come in.
You say Fangraphs did?
Yeah, last night when I downloaded the probable pitchers.
Ooh, it's not him anymore.
All right,
it's Hunter Wood still.
Hunter Wood. So he only goes like an inning or 2.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the pitcher usage now. I mean, it seems like it would be Beeks.
I always get confused who's pitched and who hasn't for this team because it's just annoying, the bullpen stuff.
And now, like, Yarborough's not going long.
I know.
So... I don't know. For me, it doesn't matter. I'm loading up on J.A. Happ. 29% expected ownership for me.
You're like cutting out for me.
Ooh. Am I back yet?
What's that?
Am I back?
Yeah, you're just like kind of robot-y.
I don't want to be robot-y.
I know.
I'm a little over the field on JA Happ on DK, a lot over the field on FanDuel. I love Happ, and I'm not super worried about who's coming in for the Rays. So are you on Happ?
Yeah, I'm on Happ. I like him, especially if there's going to be lefties in this lineup, which it looks like there should be at least a few. He's been good, coming off a nice start and getting to pitch to Romine at home. I expect him to have a lot of run support, especially if we get word that it is Beeks coming out of the pen, because he hasn't been used as a long reliever. So Trinos has been used. Let's see, who else? Castillo, no. Oh, Faria was 3 days ago. Trinos was 4. So, yeah, I think it's going to be Beeks, but just make sure you get word that it is. And then I love the Yankees bats. So Yankees bats and Happ. The Yankees are one of my favorite stacks in the entire day.
Does that change your mind if it's not Beeks?
I mean, I just want to see a lefty. So, like, it's not going to be Yarbrough, but if it was Yarbrough, then yeah. The Yankees against lefties, they just crush. And especially at home, they absolutely murder lefties. So, like, over 220 ISO as a team for the season. So I just want to stack up every part of the Yankees if they're going to see a lefty.
Yeah, I like them on FanDuel. I'm double the field, but we're projecting like no ownership to them on DK. I basically don't have them. They're a hard team to stack.
Why?
Outfield, short, outfield, 1, 2, 3, 4. You gotta really like Andahar or Torres.
I do. Yeah. So I love those guys. That's why I like it. Andahar, Torres.
I don't like Torres in the 7 hole. I just don't get it.
And they might switch him around. Who knows if Bird is even going to be in there. It's too bad they don't have Tyler Austin anymore.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. Throw him at first base.
Shout out Sean V with the Justin Upton call last night. Dude just kind of gets this stuff right and starting to drive me insane. So, congrats, Sean V. Yeah, I don't think I'll get to the Yankees all that much. They're tough for construction.
All right, your loss.
Look, I like them. I like the matchup and everything. They just don't fit well. The Yankees are an easy team to get in if you build a lineup by hand.
Yeah.
They don't naturally come up in like in Fantasy Cruncher for me.
Right. They won't, but so Gardner won't come up super high for me, but Stanton and Hicks, those are the two guys I want the most. So it's Stanton, Hicks, Andujar, Torres. It's kind of spread out, but I love all 4 of them because they're going to see hopefully Beeks. But yeah, so I like the low ownership. I think it's definitely worth a shot.
Let me switch to Beeks and see if that matters for me. I don't think that it will, but let's check it out at least. All right, Beeks. We'll give him. There we go. 4. I want to see if it changes my outlook at all. No, not really.
No?
Nah. I didn't really expect it to. Yeah, they're a tough fit for me. I like them on paper. I don't mind them as a pay-up option if you want to be different. That's the kind of thing I'd be looking for, at least.
Yeah.
Anything on the Rays? I assume no.
No. Nothing on the Rays side. I don't want to target against Happ and the Yankees bullpen.
Mavin Goose, has anyone discussed Alex calling Jake a rising star on the Levitan podcast? Do we expect some NBA type drama? I mean, Jake's not even a rising star, particularly in hockey. He's just a star.
I don't know that I'm a star. I'm a pretty good player, but I did not expect him to be mentioning me with testosterone. If anybody knows who that is, he had a run 2 years ago, an MMA guy, and he just was crushing like everything. Last year, not as much. I don't know if he played the same volume, but he said testosterone and then me, and I was like, oh God, now I've got some big shoes to fill for this season.
I mean, you made a final in NHL, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, okay, finals don't mean that much, honestly. Like as far as like quality of player, I banked the final like my first qualifier that I did. Um, so
But still,
it's just yeah.
very very quality NHL player.
Thank you,
I
thanks,
mean, he was
Tom.
right.
Big shoes to fill. Now I got to bring it.
Yeah, well, that's very true now.
Yeah.
Very true. Uh, moving on, I guess. Red Sox and Phillies. Red Sox 4.8 run implied total. Phillies 4.2. The 56% chance to win for the Red Sox. Rick Porcello going for Boston. Nick Pivetta going for Philadelphia. All right, I don't get this one. So I'm hoping it's like a bug. Nick Pivetta, 22% expected ownership tonight against the Red Sox. High underdogs. Red Sox rake righties. I don't. What am I missing here? What don't I get? Why in the world is Nick Pivetta 22% owned against the Red Sox?
It's just that Pavetta's good and he's cheap, and he could survive this like easily. I wouldn't be
Is it
shocked.
not the worst matchup on the entire slate?
It's not great. It's not great, but he's one of those guys that when he's on, he's like almost unhittable. Like you could see him getting 7 or 8 strikeouts here, even in a really tough strikeout matchup. He's got to navigate the top of the lineup, which is really tough to do. But if he can do that, these guys at the bottom, he has the advantage over, I think, the like 6 through 9 easily. And maybe some guys in the top 5 as well. So I don't know at 22% if I want to play him, but like I get why people would want to, just not at the second highest owned pitcher on the slate.
I don't get it at all. I only have 4%. This is like. What would his ownership be if the Phillies played the Mets today or the Giants? Like,
yeah,
if they were going up against the Rockies, like what in the world? He'd be 190% owned.
Yeah, well, at that price, yeah, he's like a 10, 11K pitcher, and you're getting a huge discount on him because he's got a tough matchup. But
is it weird that I don't even think that he's a $7,600 pitcher today?
He's a 76. This is a fair price for him, I think. It's a super tough matchup. He does pitch a lot better at home, so if he's on, your Red Sox stacks are going to die. If he's not, they're going to look really good. Like it's one or the other with Pivetta most of the time. So I like either the full stack or just complete fade against Pivetta.
I mean, I'd like to have the Red Sox if he's going to be 20% owned, but I don't like anything in this game, really. I'm looking at Pivetta's game logs. I want to see if I just have him underrepresented from an innings perspective. So he averages 5.2 innings per start. I've got him in for 5.5. Like, it's hard to expect him to go much deeper against arguably the best offense in baseball. This one blows my mind. I can't get to this.
What?
I think anybody that's playing Pivetta near 22% are on better drugs than I'm on. I'd rather make sure that I'm over the field on the Red Sox.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to be over 22%. If Pivetta was going to be like 5%, then I would be in on Pivetta for what I'd be over the field at least, but not at 22. This is such a tough matchup to be having a fifth of the lineups going against the Red Sox on a 14-game slate is kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's wild to me. Do you have any Porcello? He's got 7%. I don't have any. I mean, I've got 1%, I guess.
No, I don't like Porcello. I think these Phillies lefties could give him some trouble, and Rhys Hoskins. Like the top 5 are pretty tough. And Porcello's not cheap. Like you're not getting a discount on him at all. 9,200. It's gonna rain here too. It looks like. So who knows if we may have some issues. May not even get to play Pivetta, and Porcello.
I hope that game gets all of the good weather. If people are on Pivetta at 22%, I see an inefficiency in tournaments.
Yeah.
16% expected ownership for Rhys Hoskins. I don't even have any. 0% JD Martinez. 0% Andrew Benintendi. 0% Xander Bogaerts. These are the expected ownerships on DraftKings right now.
I like Rhys. I like Rhys a lot.
I don't like Rhys as 16%.
Yeah. Well, he's just too cheap. And
I
he hits
agree that
righties
he's
really,
cheap.
really well.
Why would JD Martinez and Andrew Benintendi have 0% ownership?
Well, you're not getting a discount on those guys. People love a nice discount on a good hitter.
Yeah, I guess.
And a good pitcher like Pivetta. So they'll forego the matchup and just, or I should say, they'll overlook the matchup for a guy they know should be, or they're used to being priced higher because they think they're getting a great deal.
I'm drawing my line in the sand. Fade Pivetta.
Okay. Yeah, so I am hedging. I will either have like full Red Sox stacks or like I'll have some Pivetta, but not much. Like not 22%, that's for sure.
That's blowing my mind. Tom's still in the chat. Tom, tell me why in the world Nick Pivetta is 22% owned. Do you have anything else you want to touch on there? It's a kind of an uneventful game for me.
Nope. We're all good.
Okay. Indians and Reds. Now here's an eventful game. Ooh, no ownership again. I love it. 5.1 run implied total for the Indians. 3.4 for the Reds. 67% chance to win for said Indians. Corey Kluber going for Cleveland. The numbers said so. That'll work, Tom. That'll work. Sal Romano going for Cincinnati. I'm not going to ride the Kluber train. 17% expected ownership. I've only got 5. But I am riding that Indians bats. 3rd stack for me on FanDuel.
Yeah.
5th on DK. I am double the field on DK. They went crazy yesterday and were a driving force. This is the team that you should have a lot of compared to like the Indians or the Red Sox and the Yankees, in my opinion, because you get a shortstop and a third baseman and a first baseman. Much, much easier to stack. This is where I will be planting my flag. Go Indians tonight.
Yeah, Sal Romano, huge issues against lefties. This is about as bad of a matchup as you can ask for Romano. In a terrible park, too. It's 85 degrees. I mean, this is such a good Lindor and Ramirez and Brantley spot. Once again, I mean, I play them every single day pretty much, and they're always under-owned, I think. So if we're going to see 7 and 13%, I think that's like fine. Still, Lindor at 7%, he should be higher than that. You could argue Ramirez should be higher than 13. So, I mean, Sal Romano, man, he's not good. He's not going to strike these guys out. It's a small park, good hitting weather. They just got into that bullpen last night, so they won't probably see their best arms either after Romano. So this is just a really, really awesome stack. I'm all over the Indians too.
Good. That makes me happy. Now we're on the same page here. I mean, they're really good. And they're super easy to stack when they don't have just a bunch of outfielders at the top. I love it. I hope the ownership stays down. Again, I want to be double the field. I'm surprised I'm not getting no more Kluber, though.
Tough strikeout matchup for Kluber.
True.
So the Reds, you look at like on a team level against righties this year, they just don't strike out that much. And then you look at the projected lineup. You got Peraza at 12%, Votto 13, Jeanette 18, Suarez 22.5. So that's right around average. Mason Williams at 19, Tucker Barnhart 16. There's some strikeouts with Tucker, Preston Tucker, Hamilton, and Sal Romano, but at the top, it's going to be tough. And Kluber hasn't shown like enormous upside like we've seen in past seasons. I think it's a fair price for him, but same thing, not a good park, and there is some power on this Red side and not very many strikeouts.
Yeah, it makes me feel. I'm happy to be underweight. I didn't have much of a problem with it. I was just a little surprised to see 17% Kluber. That's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Anything else you want to touch on here outside of just the Indians being awesome?
No, yeah, the Indians, 1 through 6 especially. But yeah, whoever you want on the Indians is cool with me. I love all of them.
Boom, love it. Moving on. White Sox and Tigers. White Sox 4.3 run implied total. Tigers 4.8. It's a 55% chance to win for the Tigers. Luke Giolito going for Chicago. Blaine Hardy going for the Tigers. This is where my Nick Pivetta, or Alex Wood in the future, but this is where my Nick Pivetta ownership is going. I've got 2.5 times the field on Blaine Hardy.
Sure.
Is that okay?
Oh, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So I thought he would be kind of chalky last night when I was looking at the slate overall. But if he's not going to be, like, he's going to be half the ownership of Brett Kennedy. But I know they're different pricing tiers, but he's home. He's a favorite against a team that strikes out a lot. I know there's a lot of righties here, but the White Sox against both hands over the last month, 28% K rate, 28.2%, 88 WRC plus. The next highest K percentage is the Dodgers, actually, and they're under 25%. So they're just striking out way more than anyone over the last month. And you can see why some of these hitters in this lineup. Davidson near 30%. Moncada is bad against lefties. Ryan Lamar over 30%. Yolmer Sanchez at 27%. So I wasn't really on Hardy last night, but kind of looking at it again this morning, I think he makes a lot of sense, especially if he's going to be 10%.
Yeah, as per usual, I will always bet against the White Sox. They have 4 guys in their projected lineup that have steamer strikeout rates above 30.
Yeah.
That is so insane.
It's tough.
Blaine Hardy has the opportunity to rack him up, and he's not exactly like some strikeout pitcher, but there is a ton of potential for like loading up on Ks here.
Right. And if he goes 6 innings, gets you a few strikeouts, you would be more than happy with that at under 7K. So if he does what he's done in his last few starts, maybe not his last one, he let up 5 earned runs, but obviously way tougher matches against Oakland, Cleveland, Boston, Houston, I see in here. So this is a much softer matchup than he's seen recently.
Now, I do like the bats here. White Sox are my number 6 stack on FanDuel, number 9 on DK. I'm over the field on both sites. Tigers are 4th on FanDuel, 7th on DK. I'm over the field on both. I just don't, while I think Hardy has a good upside matchup in a GPP because the White Sox strike out a lot, I also do like those White Sox bats a lot because of their pricing. So I'm going to have a ton of stuff in this game. Were you looking at any bats at all? You're not going to Giolito first and foremost, right?
No, I'm not going to Giolito. I mean, I understand some White Sox bats: Davidson, Abreu, Garcia. Well, the first 4.
Yep.
If Anderson leads off, so those guys I all have as pretty good hitters against lefties, but not going to be going wild. And so if they do knock out Hardy early, you get that bad Detroit bullpen, and that's the appeal there. But you really want them to face lefties, especially Anderson and Garcia. But anyways, Giolito, this is our guy we like to stack against, right? You like to stack against Giolito, right?
I like to stack against this entire White Sox starting pitching core outside of Carlos Rodon.
Yeah. So Giolito, walk issues, hard contact. He gives up all the goods. The Tigers aren't like crazy cheap, so I actually haven't looked at their ownership. Yeah, they're not crazily owned. But I like Goodrum, Castellanos, and Candelario the best.
They are 4th in ownership on DK.
Ooh. Yeah, but I'm seeing is it just Iglesias over 10 or is Castellanos? I can't see Castellanos right now.
Candelario 9, Iglesias 11, Castellanos 7, Goodrum 6, Vmart 8, James McCann 11.
Yeah, as long as they're under 10, I think you're fine with that, or around 10.
Yeah, I'm right there with the field on the Tigers. I definitely want to have shares of anything when Giolito's on the opposite side.
Yeah.
And like we said, there are a lot of righties at the top of the White Sox order that could pop off on Ooh, that's my fault. There we go. I fixed Jake. It's not
Am I frozen? Oh, I just undid my camera and.
Yeah. I didn't know if it was me. Sometimes if I accidentally minimize Skype, you freeze.
Oh, I see.
Either way, fixed it. Yeah, lots to like here. Lots to like.
People are talking about like DFS taxes.
Yeah.
Like 1099s and stuff.
I mean, what else would you talk about on a Tuesday morning?
Yeah, there's only 14 games. Why are you guys talking about this? Didn't you guys already fill these out if you got them?
Somebody got like an email about it.
This early?
I think they had a relatively big GPP win, maybe.
I know, but it's by the end of the year, by calendar year.
Maybe it's a heads up for someone that's never done it. I don't know.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah. No idea.
The business side of the stream, yeah.
I could give mild advice there. Marlins and Braves. Thanks, Braves, for yesterday. Shout out Freddie Freeman. Marlins 3.6 run implied total. Braves 4.9. It's a 64% chance to win for the Braves. Trevor Richards going for the Marlins. Anibal Sanchez going for Atlanta. Sanchez 9% owned. I've got 9%. That's really the only interesting thing in this entire game. I don't really have Braves bats. I don't have Marlins bats. Sort of just want this game to stay quiet. What about you?
I'm kind of right there with you. I understand Anibal. He's kind of earned this price. He's been very good. Unfortunately, left last start after getting hit with a line drive, but everything that I read seems like he's going to be fine, just a bruise or whatever. So the Marlins aren't like a great matchup, but I think he is somewhat safe, which is weird to say for Anibal. I feel like I've said that a couple times. This kind of guy you just auto-stacked against the last few years, and he looks different this year. So yeah. Big favorite, 8,600. It's a bad pitching slate once you get outside of the top few arms. So he's viable. And then Trevor Richards is someone who has a really, really awesome changeup, and that could be tough for these lefties. So I'm with you as well there. I'm not on the Atlanta bats, even though they have a 5 total. I love playing them as much as anyone, but when you've got a righty with a really good changeup, that can be devastating to lefty hitters. So I don't want to stack against that.
Yeah, I don't really have much interest in the Braves at all.
Yeah,
I'll have a line or two, but that's about it.
Can we change Freddie's name to Fredward officially for the stream?
That's fine by me.
Yeah, that's fine by me.
And no season-long fantasy football at Osimo, Zach Jameson. And if we did, I still wouldn't play. I haven't played season-long in 5+ years.
I play season-long with my friends. I used to just crush them, and now I don't pay enough attention because I pay attention to DFS. So now I lose every year.
There is little I hate more than season-long fantasy football season. Oof.
Last year I had David Johnson, and he got hurt the first week, out for the season, and that was the end of my season.
I can't do that. I can't do that. And then you have to hear like 15 other people tell you that story when they talk about their personal fantasy league.
Right.
Here's the sneaky thing. No one gives a shit about your fantasy football league except for you. But man,
exactly.
do we love talking about it.
Yeah, the draft. I'm in for the social part. DFS has gotten better than that. DFS Twitter is hit or miss, but the social part of the draft is the most fun part. It's just like
I would totally be Taco now at a draft, just like reaching into a bag, throwing a name against the board, and just being like, "Oh, I got a kicker. Oh, I got."
Well, yeah, you drink or whatever you do, and yeah.
Yeah, but I wouldn't want to check my team after that. I guess I'm perfectly set up for best ball. I just also don't care.
Yeah, but that's on.
DFS is right there for you.
Exactly. That's why I do both. It's fantastic.
Sign me up for just DFS. Diamondbacks and Rangers. Diamondbacks 5.6 run implied total. Rangers 4.4. 61% chance to win for the D-backs. Pat Corbin going for Arizona. Giovanni Gallardo going for Texas. Clearly I don't have any Gallardo, but I assume that I was going to be a little unique here, saying that I have 0 Pat Corbin. Oh no. Public also 0 Pat Corbin. So Jake, as a Pat Corbin lover, would you have him?
Man, he's not even going to be owned at all?
Evidently, no. And I'll say
So,
this. I completely agree with it.
yeah, so I hate the park. I absolutely hate the park. Try to take pictures in Texas as little as possible. I've been burned a few times trying to get cute and playing in there. It's just a really tough place to play. Corbin does give up a lot of hard contact as well. So that's another demerit against him. But Texas has so many strikeouts, and Corbin's swinging strikes and first pitch strike rate look unreal in his last 4 starts, and even going back his last like 10 or 12 starts. You're seeing swinging strike rates in the high teens, low 20s, and these are like Chris Sale and Scherzer will get up in the 20s, but that's really about it. Corbin's one of the only guys that does this. Huge chase rate. Like, I got to take a chance at him for this price, just hoping he has his best stuff, because he's a guy who can get 35 here. And I think Verlander has that upside, but not sure if Kluber even does. There's another guy too, Paxton. I don't really like Paxton's matchup that much. So,
Ooh, we'll talk about that then.
Yeah.
I'm over
I like Corbin at no ownership. I thought he was going to be like 10, 15% owned, but if he's going to be not owned, people are just going to ignore him, then yeah, sign me up, because he can just go and strike out 10 in 6 innings here.
Yeah. Unless it comes up randomly, I won't have anything here with Corbin. The line would have to drop pretty dramatically for it. What I'm looking for here are the Diamondbacks bats. Number 1 stack on FanDuel, number 2 stack on DK. They are the chalk stack on both sites by a mile on FanDuel, by a solid amount on DK. And I'm right there with the field. I see no reason to not have them. Giovanni Gallardo, not very good. Rangers ballpark, very, very good. It's hard not to like the Diamondbacks hitters.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard not to like them. They didn't go nuts last night, if I remember correctly, right?
No, they didn't. They lost. They only scored 3 runs.
Okay. Yeah. So that's baseball for you against good old Bartolo.
Top of the order was good. Pollock 2 for 4, Goldschmidt 2 for 4. They all had like runs and RBIs and stuff, but like the bottom of the order was from Descalso down 0 for, I don't know, 25.
Yeah. So Pollock and Goldschmidt, I think they should be 2 of the higher owned plays of the day. Great park. A guy who's going to let them put the ball in play, which is awesome. And Pollock is cheap. Goldschmidt is not too expensive either. They're a great stack, but they're chalk.
Yep.
I think they should be probably the top stack on most people's lists. If you want to put Cleveland up there, I think that's fine. I like the Yankees too. So I just have a bunch of stacks bunched up in the top tier, and Arizona is certainly one of them.
Yeah, I'm going to have a bunch of them. Nothing's going to change. Go Diamondbacks tonight.
Yeah.
To the Pirates we go. Pirates and Jakes. 4.5 run implied total for the Pirates. 4.1 for the Twins. The 53% chance to win for the Pirates. Jamison Tyon going for Pittsburgh. Jake Odorizzi going for the Jakes. I don't want any pitching here. The only thing that I'm looking at are Pirates bats. I'm right with the field on FanDuel. They're my number 7 stack. And they are my number 3 stack on DraftKings. I'm almost double the field. I think that, so this is where I'm going when I'm not having the Yankees. Because Dickerson, Marte, Polanco are a better value per dollar than those Yankees outfield bats. So I think that's where I'm filling in. I have a lot of those top 3 Pirates. Are you going to Tyon or Odorizzi at all?
Yeah, I'm going to Tigers bats. No Odorizzi for me. He just hasn't missed any bats lately. I know he's had tough matchups, but he had like a 2% swinging strike rate in his last start, which is concerning. It's not like the Pirates. What's that?
Good stuff.
Yeah. Not like the Pirates are just a rollover matchup either. I like Dickerson up top and Polanco. Moran is pretty cheap as well. So I don't love the full stack, but those three guys I mentioned, I'll have quite a bit of. I can't play Odorizzi right now. He looks pretty poor to me.
Yeah, I completely agree. What do you think of those top three in the Pirates? The Dickerson, Marte, Polanco. Since I know you're on the Yankees, are you cool with having those three outfielders? Or at least two of those three?
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably go two of those three, but if Fantasy Cruncher is going to give me all three in the lineup, I'm not going to like force them out or anything.
Yeah, so I like those three. I like Cervelli. You need a catcher option. And then if Dave Freese is going to hit fourth and have first and third eligibility, that will help tremendously. They're just really cost efficient, in my opinion. So I really like having the Pirates. Like I said, number 3 stack on DraftKings right now.
Yeah.
There's not much else to say. I know I'm out on an island there, but it's really just those top 3 guys. It's not like I want a ton of Jordy Mercer hitting 9th.
No, right.
Rockies and Astros. Rockies 2.9 run implied total. Astros 4.1. The 65% chance to win for the Astros. German Marquez going for Colorado. Justin Verlander going for Houston. Verlander, the dude tonight. 41% expected ownership on DK. 41% expected ownership on FanDuel. I'm quite a bit under the field. I only have 29 on DK, 23 on FanDuel. I'm not going to be paying all the way up for it, although it is a really solid matchup. I like a couple other guys that are still high priced, so I don't have anything very specific to say other than like Verlander's clearly good, but not 41% good for me.
Yeah. Did you have any interest in Tyon?
I only have like 1%.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really either. So I just wanted to mention that people are talking in chat about him, and I don't think we really talked about him. But Verlander, number 1 pitcher on the night, he's a spotlight pitcher. Like, what do you want me to say here? He's coming off that bad start or whatever, like just a disaster start, got thrown out. Whatever.
Oh yeah, I forgot he got the gate in his last one, and I was smashing the shit out of him.
he should mow these guys down. Colorado's so bad outside of Coors, especially against righties. I'm expecting like a 10 strikeout game. Verlander to go 115 pitches and just be classic Verlander and dominate here. It's an awesome matchup for him.
Will you be near that 40%? I'm sorry, I don't know if you said that or not.
Yeah. I'll be near that for sure.
Okay.
Maybe over it, depending on. I mean, I'll get some Corbin exposure, but it'll probably be Verlander and Corbin.
Okay, so that's where we're drawing the line, I guess, because I like Paxton. So we'll talk about that in a bit.
That's fair.
I don't have any interest in bats here, really. I mean, we're certainly not taking the Rockies. I don't see any value there. I'll have one line for the opposite side of Verlander, but I don't get the sense that I want to have too much Colorado. They grade out really poorly. And then for the Astros, like Marquez is really good. I don't really need to be on the Astros if Marquez isn't owned. Are you looking at the Astros at all?
Not really. Marquez has looked dominant, kind of, as of late. So I'm not stacking against him. I like that the Astros have Correa back, maybe a Josh Reddick one-off, but no, this game is really about pitching. Are you going to play Marquez?
No, not at all.
Okay. His numbers look really, really good as of late. Like just swinging strike, chase, first pitch strike. So there's a case to be made, but still a really tough matchup, even with this watered-down Astros lineup.
Can't do it at 8,400.
Right. If he was like 6,400, now he's probably chalk. But yeah.
Yeah, I can't get there. Honestly, at 8,400 in this matchup, it's probably one of the worst plays on the day for me.
Worse than Gallardo?
Yeah, but like he's bad and he's priced like he's bad.
Yeah.
Like to have to get to Marquez in a really difficult matchup. Or at least, a relatively difficult matchup. This is not the same Astros lineup at the beginning of the year. But I guess ultimately, I'm underweight on Verlander, and I plan to be, barring any changes.
Okay.
Still like him, though. Yeah, I will have some Verlander and Vargas, Earl.
Oh, Robbie Cano's back? No way. That 80 games went quick.
I forgot he had been out. He just hasn't existed in my head. All right, time to talk about my favorite for the second day in a row. Blue Jays and Royals. Blue Jays, 4.8 run implied total. Royals, 4.3. The 56% chance to win for the Jays. Ryan Borucki going for Toronto. Heath Fillmyer going for Kansas City. This game isn't about pitching. This game is about hitting. And for me, the Blue Jays are the nuts. Number 2 stack on FanDuel. Number 1 stack on DK. I am double the field on FanDuel. Triple the field on DraftKings. Give me all of the Blue Jays once again. No respect for Heath Fillmyer. No respect for the Kansas City bullpen. I want all of the Jays. Am I crazy?
Wait, you're cutting out. Hold on.
Damn it.
You say you're double the field on the Blue Jays?
I'll triple the field on DK.
Oh, okay. Yeah, against Fillmyer.
Number 1 stack.
Yeah, Fillmyer's got some issues against righties, it looks like. So I love Grichuk and Devin Travis a little bit. Teoscar. I don't actually love the stack against Fillmyer, but I mean, you can really stack against the Royals from here on out just because of how bad that bullpen is. They can just implode at any moment. So even if Fillmyer goes 6 innings and pitches fine, you still got 3 innings against some really bad pitchers. Fillmyer's actually been very good at getting ground balls and limiting hard contact to lefties. So I'm not super high on Granderson and Smoke and Morales. I think it's the righties that I want here.
Yeah, I want everybody. No ownership to Granderson. Again, I'm like 4 times the field on Travis, 3 times the field on Smoke. If Danny Jansen is the catcher for the Jays, he's the play of the day.
2K. Look at that.
He's good. 105 weighted runs created plus via steamer. I'll take my chances there. Projects a 162 ISO. Doesn't strike out. I don't care that he's hitting 9th. At 2K, I'll have 23% of him right now.
Good old Danny Jansen.
I hope he's in the lineup. To fill a catcher spot with 2,000, it's a free square.
That is. That's really good. You got Russell Martin for twice the price. You can always do that.
Russell Martin, 3rd baseman on FanDuel now.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
FanDuel making moves.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't get to Russell Martin on DK if Danny Jansen's $2,000.
Yeah.
So, yeah, give me all the Jays. But, give me all the Royals on DK. 8% expected ownership. They're pretty chalky. I have 9. Whit Merrifield, hella popular. Salvador Perez, the chalk catcher of the day. Hunter Dozier, Herrera, both getting some ownership. Do you like that 4-man stack that I just read off?
So Merrifield, Hunter Dozier, Salvador Perez, and who?
Herrera?
Yeah, they're fine. I don't think Borucki's any good. So I'll take Whit all day against the lefty, pretty much any lefty. And then I like Salvador Perez. So I'll probably cut it off there just because this Royals lineup looks so poor. But I really do like those first 1 and 3 there.
Yeah, so do I. I'll have some Royals, man. I'll be right there with the field on that top section. They make things fit pretty easy. So,
sure.
2 guys with dual eligibility, a highly rated catcher that rises to the top for me pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Go Blue Jays, people! You heard it here first. Nats 4.4 run implied total. Cardinals 4.4 run implied total. Coin flip game. Gio Gonzalez going for Washington. John Gant going for St. Louis. I've got a little bit of Gio. We're only projecting 2% ownership. I've got 7, but there's no ownership for pitching in this game. Are you looking at them at all by any chance?
Definitely not Gant. Gio, somewhat, just because he's cheap and like I think I said on the night shift, like just like a veteran pitcher who can pitch okay. You need like 15 points, I think, out of your SP2 here, and I think Gio can do that. But I was also expecting Berea to be super chalky, and we don't have him being like incredible chalk, at least not yet. So
I didn't know he was on the slate.
Yeah, Yeah, he's on the slate. Let's see. I can't see his ownership right now.
I got it. He's 1%.
Yeah, so if that's going to be the case, then I'll go to Berea in a softer matchup. Cardinals have been crushing lefties, and they've just got so many good righties all in a row. Jose Martinez has not been hitting lefties well at all this year. But Ozuna, DeJong, Jorko, these guys are all really solid hitters. Yadi Molina. So I don't know. I mean, I will probably have some Gio. Are the Cardinals chalky?
No, not at all. They're average.
Yeah.
Nobody in double digits.
I was wrong on ownership compared to what we have. So I'm kind of changing my tune a little bit. A little more interested in the Cardinals bats, a little less interested in Gonzalez, especially if Berea is not going to have any ownership.
Any interest in the Nats bats?
Yeah, I love the Nats bats. They're in that top tier for me.
My buddy. No, let's talk now, because we're good. 1% aggregate ownership on FanDuel, 2% on
What
DK.
is that?
That's what we're projecting. I've got 10 on FanDuel and 9 on DK. I have 10 times the field on FanDuel, 4.5 times the field on DK. They are 5th for me on FanDuel, 4th on DraftKings. Why aren't people on the Nats tonight?
They're not even expensive.
Nope.
They're not even expensive.
No, they're not.
Like Soto for 4,700. That's ridiculous. He used to be over 5K every day. Harper 5,100, and then everyone else under 5K in the mid fours, low
4,200 to lead off. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Gant. I'm pretty sure I say this every time, but 58% hard contact against lefties this year. 58, 17% strikeout rate, but he's got a 226 BABIP. He's been getting lucky against lefties. This is a perfect regression game for him.
He hasn't given up a home run against a righty this year.
No, he's good against righties, but you've got Trey Turner in there and Rendon, who certainly can hold their own against righties. And then I hope to see, is Matt Adams like active, or are they just playing Zimmerman every day?
I don't know. Let me see.
Because
he's fine.
He's okay. This would be a great spot to give Matt Adams a start.
Oh my God, yeah.
Against Gant. But
I love this. I love these first 5 guys. I'll have a little bit of Murphy, a little bit of Wieters, but I'm loading up here. If the Nats pop off, this is my spot.
Yeah, I love the Nats. I'll be right there with you at the top.
Any weird weather or anything in this game that's going to make me sad later on?
I don't think so. So I'm probably going to go in on like 2 teams today, 2 or 3, and just go like 33, 33, 33, or 50.
There's a lot of rain here.
What?
There's a lot of rain in this Washington game.
Let's see.
It should be fine from a DFS perspective, but they might start late.
Oh, that's fine. Even better.
Yeah. I love it. Give me all of the Nats. Well, give me and Jake all of the Nats. I'm scooping it all up.
Yep.
Oh, that makes me happy. Makes me really happy. I don't feel too crazy. Alrighty. Mariners and A's. Mariners 3.9 run implied total. A's 3.6. The 54% chance to win for the Mariners. James Paxton going for Seattle. Mike Fiers going for Oakland. Paxton, 14% expected ownership. I've got 25. 16% on FanDuel. I've got 21. I'm hoping to stay well above the field here. Paxton's the guy that I'm looking to pay up for. There's a solid amount of swing and miss in this A's lineup. The only thing to be worried about is the fact that he's probably going to see 9 righties. So talk to me about your thoughts on Paxton while I go fill my water.
So Paxton, 11-1. Pretty fair price, I think. Oakland does have swing and miss, but on a team level over the last month, they're striking out under league average, 21.2%, and then a 137 WRC plus, one of the best ISOs against left. Raking. I know they had that huge series in Coors, so that's probably skewing the numbers a little bit. 3 games or whatever. And they also did play in Texas So they've had some good parks to play in. They're not as good at home, but I'm still not crazy about Paxton, especially like I'm staring at Corbin at no ownership, and people are getting on Verlander. Uh, Corbin has more swing and miss potential, I think, than Paxton does in their respective matchups. So that's where I'm at. But if you want to go to Paxton, he's similar to Verlander in that they let him go deep. It's not like he's been super shut down as of late or anything, but perfectly fine play. I'm just going elsewhere.
Okay. Yeah, Paxton's going to be my guy tonight. 7.8K projection, second highest behind Verlander. I've got him 1.6Ks ahead of Corbin. He's also got the second highest top 2 pitcher score for me. So Paxton's looking like he's going to be a guy that I have a lot of. 3.6 run implied total for the A's, right where I want it to be. I mean, I'd love to see the line drop a little bit, but I will happily have some James Paxton here.
That's fair.
Robbie Cano coming in at 3,600 on FanDuel, 3,900 on DK. Normally FanDuel fucks that up and puts them in at 2,000, but not today. 13% expected ownership for Cano. I don't have any. Should I?
Fires looked really pretty good in that last start.
Yeah, let's not talk about how good that was. That
I know.
That sucked.
that was a close the laptop night when I saw him start mowing down the Dodgers. But he's probably going to be okay at home just because that's such a good pitcher's park. It's a 4-run total for Seattle. I don't love anyone individually on that team. Nelson Cruz is really cheap. Just got huge power, can hit righties or lefties. So he's probably someone that'll pop up for me. But, yeah, I don't really like the Seattle stack.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I have a little bit of it, but nothing crazy. They're 11th on FanDuel, 12th on DK. So
sure,
nothing to write home about. All right, here you go. Angels and Padres. Angels, 3.4 run implied total. Padres, 4.6. 64% chance to win for the Padres. Jaime Barria going for the Angels. Brett Kennedy going for the Padres. Kennedy, chalk option at the bottom tier. Only 4,700 on DK. We're projecting 23% ownership. I've got 29. I will happily be there. I love getting cheap pitching in Petco. Barria, though, not so much. So talk to me about it. What do you see in there that you like?
He's just coming off a really, really good start against another bad team. And so that was Detroit, team that strikes out a lot against righties. And he did exactly what you would want him to do. 5 2/3, 5 strikeouts, 17% swinging strike rate, above average chase rate. Everything looked good in that start. I don't know that he's going to do that again here. And I actually prefer if there are a few lefties in this lineup for him. But it's not a perfect spot by any means, but San Diego just strikes out so much. It's such a good park. He's cheap, coming off a good start. It just makes a lot of sense if people aren't going to be on him. I would assume people will be as the day goes on, but right now he looks like a really awesome GPP play.
Yeah, I completely agree. I want to have a ton of him.
I'm talking about Barria.
Yeah, I think he looks like a really decent
okay.
GPP play, actually. GPP play. I didn't get to him at all, but I do like him as a pivot there.
Okay.
Especially if Pavetta's 22% owned.
Yeah.
I don't see them as dramatically different, and he gets to pitch in Petco and not against the Red Sox. So I like that as a sneak play.
Yeah. So Kennedy, he had just a disaster start, and he's actually the other spotlight pitcher I wrote up, just because, like you look at the plate discipline numbers, like the ones I just referenced for Barria, and he was solid in his last start at missing bats and getting chases and getting ahead of guys. It just went poorly. It looks like he just made a few mistakes, gave up 3 homers. He's going to be chalky, so I don't really like that, but it's hard to avoid 4,700 in Petco against a team without their best player. So whatever, he's fine for me. Just as a punt, I think he is viable. He threw 87 pitches. So yeah, Brett Kennedy. I guess I'm on Brett Kennedy as well.
Yeah. Good eye, Brendan Bowling. I flip-flopped the lines for San Francisco and for this game. So that's why I was having an issue there. I'll also like Alex Wood a little bit more than I did before because of that. But it's not going to be a gigantic issue. I'll still love Brett Kennedy, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Any backs?
No, not really.
All right, because I'm mashing the Padres.
Ooh.
No, the line was incorrect. I had a lot of Padres here. I might still get to them because they're hyper cheap. Like they're the Yankees, but with no talent, so to speak. Just super cheap tons of outfielders at the top. I won't have a ton of them, but I'll probably have like 3 aggregate.
Sure.
Hey Josh, I know you max enter and all, but I'm a little confused on how it all works. Where do you get your projections if it's yourself? Do you enter them all manually? Yeah, I make all of my own projections. They all get spit out in this workbook. And then I dump them into Fantasy Cruncher.
Good old Fantasy Cruncher.
Alrighty, final game, Giants and Dodgers. Giants, 3.6 run implied total. Dodgers, 4.9. It's a 64% chance to win for the Dodgers. Andrew Suarez going for San Francisco. Alex Wood going for LA. I only had 2% Wood before. That's funny. We're projecting 18. That's going to go up dramatically. I had this line entered incorrectly. I absolutely like Wood here. He grades out really nicely at $8,200 price point. I can't this is another one where I can't imagine wanting to have Pivetta over Wood for just a $600 savings. The Giants, not that kind of team, in my opinion. So I will like Wood in a GPP scenario, and that's the only thing that I care about in this game. There are no bats.
I mean, I thought Wood was going to be really chalky. He's somewhat chalky. 18% it's not terrible. I mean, he's a huge favorite at 8,200.
Uh-oh. Jake, gone. So, can everybody...
100.
There you are. You're still here? I thought I lost you completely.
Oh, maybe we did.
No, you're no. Well, you and I are talking now, so we're good. But like for a second, it was just like a spinning dial in Skype. You were gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think our connection is a little dicey, but Wood is not a guy with a lot of upside, which I don't like. He doesn't really strike a ton of guys out this year. He's only gotten over 20 points a handful of times this year. So I just never feel bad about fading him. He is somewhat safe in this matchup. You saw what Kershaw did last night. So
Clayton,
that was
welcome back.
Yeah, I suppose. But I mean, I still don't love the matchup for Wood. So I'll probably be under the 18%, but I get it with him. I just think he's played way more. He's in that Luke Weaver territory for me. He's just played way more than he should be because he's like underpriced, quote unquote. So yeah, this game not that interesting for the pitching for me, but Dodgers.
I'll have a little bit of Dodgers. I won't have a ton. I forgot that the line was jacked up before, so I didn't get to them with a crappier line. Some of these guys are going to pop up. They're a little bit cheaper on FanDuel, so I think I'll see them a lot more there. Machado looking like a decent one-off shortstop, though. It's just here's the positions for DK: outfield / shortstop, third base, shortstop, outfield / shortstop, outfield, first base / outfield. Either everybody plays outfield or everybody plays shortstop.
Yeah,
cornering the market.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know what time it is, right?
Yeah. Well, time for me to talk about Dodgers. I love them.
So okay.
Yeah.
Like love?
Yeah, I love picking on Suarez when he's on the road. I mean, he can get blown up at home. We saw that as chalk last start.
Mhm.
and then all these guys rake lefties. So I absolutely love the Dodgers. There's like 5 stacks that I really love that I'll have somewhat equal exposure to. Indians, Yankees, Dodgers are in there. Who else did I mention? Diamondbacks. There might have been one other, but anyways, you get the idea. There are a bunch of stacks at the top, and then not much below that I like.
Yeah, I don't expect to get to a ton of the Dodgers on DK today. I'll have a little bit more. I'll be over the field on FanDuel for sure, but DraftKings doesn't look like I'm going to be there.
Jake's been off to Neverland a few times. Does that mean I've cut out on the stream, or
I think
what
so.
was that? Okay. All right.
Give me 2.
Did you share your screen with me? Let's see.
I'm about to.
Okay. Let's do Verlander, Brett Kennedy.
Okay. That'll be an easy one. So, if you go with Verlander, Brett Kennedy, you get... I don't know, I have it sorted by actual score. That's stupid. Let me remove that column. Five-man Blue Jays, Rendon, Turner, Marte. How about five-man Nats, Danny Jansen, the key catcher option of the day, Eric Hosmer, and Travis. I like that lineup a lot. It's kind of a crazy one, but man, give me those Nats. White Sox stack, Tigers stack. Lots of unique combinations here.
I think. Yeah. So you're cutting out a little bit, but I just see Nationals. I love that Nationals one.
Yeah, me
well,
too.
maybe not Hosmer that much, but yeah. So
let's
kind
see
of what I
else you can
expect.
get. If you, instead of Hosmer, how about Kendry Morales? 3-man Jays stack there. Carlos Santana, if you're feeling weird. Votto.
I don't mind Santana.
A lot of White Sox, Pirates. There's an Indians one. 5-man Indians, V-Mart, Matuk, Will Myers.
Yeah, so you can do a lot. You
Yeah.
can do.
All right, let's look at it in a bit different of a way here. So the average pricing is going to be high. People doing like a Verlander Pivetta combo? I
You
guess
could
they are,
Verlander,
right?
Pivetta, Verlander, Berea. Yeah.
I feel like you're getting really crappy bats if you do that.
You probably get your Tigers.
Verlander Pivetta, I got 2 lines of that. One with a White Sox stack, Candelario, Dickerson, Matuk. One with a Royals stack with Anderson, Garcia, and Perez. Yeah, I don't like paying up that much. I'd rather have the bats. Most popular combination for me, 5-man Toronto with a 2-man Nationals. I'm going to be very happy there.
All right. Yeah, that's... What else do you want to look at? Any other crunches? I'm not all in on the Dodgers. I will have a lot of them, though.
Let's see,
Verlander, Vargas. That's the same thing as Verlander, Kennedy.
Yeah. Let's see. Where am I making my biggest stand? Let's look at something like Paxton, Blaine, Hardy. Because that's sort of where I have the most difference. And the average price there is $89.50. So that's more like the public with 2 different pitchers.
Yeah.
Oof. Not off to a great start with that 5-man Padres stack, but whatever.
Dang, you got a lot of J.A. Happ. 1,300%.
Yeah. Fantasy Cruncher gets wonky when you start filtering. At least mine does. Danny Jansen, man, please be in the lineup. Please be hitting higher than 9th, I guess.
2K catcher. Yeah, you just need like a double.
Hop over to FanDuel for you crazies. Everybody, like and subscribe to this channel or this particular video. The likes help a ton. I forgot to mention it yesterday. But we hit 233 likes on that Friday stream. So blew the 200 number out of the water. Thank you very much for all of that. Check out Spotlight Hitters, Pitchers, Stacks. Check out Quick Hits. Check out the game plan. Check out the live stream tonight at 6 with Jake and Chris. Lots of stuff going on, people.
Alex has his top stack article today.
There you go.
What else is there? Yeah, we're building up the bankroll for these other sports too. Baseball's not your favorite. Buy the football, buy the hockey when we have it, buy the NBA when we have it.
Yeah, speaking of football, our NFL packages are out. If you subscribe to the NFL package, let me hop to it right now just so I make sure that I don't lie on this stream. If you buy the NFL premium package right now, you will not be billed until September 1st, and you will also get access to our NBA content until the NFL season starts. So
you mean MLB?
What did I say?
I think you said NBA or MBA maybe.
Yes, if you buy NFL
baseball
content right now, you get baseball content until September 1st. So
yes, sir.
There you go.
That's a pretty good deal.
Check it out.
And so you can do the premium annual. I know some people were DMing me, so if you're watching this, I can't remember who it was. There's a few of you asking if we're having a just like season-long NFL package. We are, in fact. It is right there, $159.99. You're gonna get a lot for that. So without getting into too much detail, there's some good stuff coming.
Yes, there is. For you FanDuel people, if you go to Verlander, you can get things like the Nuts Diamondback stack a lot with my favorite team, the Blue Jays. You can get the Diamondbacks with the Tigers, Diamondbacks with the White Sox. Very, very easy to get to the Diamondbacks. Top 2 pairings for me on FanDuel, Diamondbacks, Blue Jays, Diamondbacks, Tigers. You can do all of that with Justin Verlander. That's why it's not that interesting. And I love FanDuel. Been FanDuel's been very, very good to me this baseball season. Trust.
Yeah, you've been balling out on FanDuel.
Evidently. Anything else, Jake?
I don't think so. Check out Spotlight Hitters, Pitcher Stacks. You'll have quick hits out later today, correct?
I will indeed.
Chris,
Josh in the chat. How do you set double stacks in Fantasy Cruncher? I just want to hit that for him just because it's an easy answer. In advanced options, team stacks tab, 1 stack of 4, 1 stack of 4. That's what I have in here right now.
So when you click on team stacks, it'll just be like blank, and you just click on add stack right
It'll
there.
look like this.
Yeah, there you go.
Click add stack. What I'm doing is 4 at 9%. You make sure you add all the teams, and then I clone it. So I have 2 options there. That's how you do it.
It's good stuff.
All right, everybody. Best of luck. Like and subscribe. Check out the iTunes podcast where Jake is hitting up the night shift 6 days a week. And then you get my awful night shift version every Sunday.
Come on. It's a good change of pace.
There you go. I like this bit. Best of luck, everybody. We'll talk to you later.